A few people got out of the car and first looked at the appearance of the shelter curiously and were amazed by its grandeur. Zhang came over and invited them to sit inside with a smile. Everyone entered the shelter, and Zhou Ke and others were waiting to greet them. They had received the news early and knew that guests from the Jiangnan district would come. But out of curiosity, they still quickly looked at the people Zhang Yi brought with them. Zhang Yi, are they the people sent by the Jiangnan district? They really look like regular troops. Zhang Yi would not easily bring people to the shelter. Even if these people came from the Jiangnan district, Zhang Yi would not allow them to enter his restricted area without a certain identity and status. Zhang Yi said, "They are all envoys from the Jiangnan district, coming to help Tianhai City deal with the zombie problem. Go and prepare some food and drinks." After speaking, Zhang Yi turned his head and looked at Bian Junwu and the others. "By the way, I wonder what you would like to drink. Our family conditions are relatively simple, and we only have some wine, coffee, and drinks. Please don't mind." Hearing Zhang Yi's words, even Bian Junwu's eyelids jumped. The other people's faces were distorted, and they wanted to pinch Zhang Yi's neck and ask him if he had a heart. However, they were all professional soldiers, so they were not too surprised by the comfortable environment in the villa. Bian Junwu said lightly, "Boiled water is fine." Several people sat down on the sofa in the living room. Because they didn't want to act like bumpkins entering the city, they could only quietly look at everything in the house. Luxurious furniture and warm and comfortable environment are all things they can't enjoy in Blizzard City. Zhang Yi and Liang Yue were accompanying them. Bian Junwu suddenly said to Zhang Yi, "Can we talk alone?" Zhang Yi nodded and smiled. "Of course, please come here with me." The leader had an order, and Zhang Yi naturally tried his best to meet it. So Zhang Yi asked others to entertain Wu Di, and others well, and he and Bian Junwu came to the small reception room next door. This room is located in the southeast corner of the shelter, with a wide field of view and walls made of thick, bulletproof glass. It is easy to talk here to make people feel comfortable, and it is a very suitable place for friends to drink tea and chat. Zhang Yi held 2 glasses of boiled water, one on the opposite side and one in front of him. Bian Junwu came to the reception room, put his hands behind his back, and looked at the snowy scene outside, and then sat down on the sofa opposite Zhang Yi. "Now there are only 2 of us. Can you tell me how you solved those zombies?" Zhang Yi opened his mouth and was about to exaggerate his previous statement. Bian Junwu stared at him and said slowly, "The method you said before was reserved. It's okay to deceive them, but don't play tricks with me. In fact, the Jiangnan district has more information than you think." Zhang Yi paused and laughed dumbly. Sure enough, people from above are not easy to deceive. If he is vague again, it may leave a bad impression on Bian Junwu. That's not what he wants. Zhang Yi no longer concealed and told Bian Junwu how he dealt with the zombies. "Actually, the way I dealt with those zombies was to flood them. I dare not say that the zombies in the entire Xishan district and Lujiang district have been dealt with. But within a radius of 50 kilometers, there have been no large-scale actions by zombies or giant rats." After listening to Zhang Yi's explanation, Bian Junwu picked up the cup of water at hand and drank a sip of hot water. "Why didn't you tell the truth just now? Do you want them to die more? Because they have attacked you together before. Or do you want to become the king of Tianhai City?" Facing Bian Junwu's inquiry, Zhang Yi was neither humble nor arrogant. He said slowly, "Maybe at the beginning, there may be some thoughts of revenge on them. After all, you can see without me saying that the relationship between our 5 forces is not harmonious. One is stronger than the other, and the weaker they are, the stronger I am. However, the most important reason is not this. It's that I can't really help them. You should know how big the subway network in Tianhai City is. I don't have the ability to help all of their forces. And I don't think this method can solve the fundamental problem. If the zombie king cannot be eliminated, Zombies will keep appearing. Bian Junwoo did not comment, but asked back, "Have you seen the Zombie King?" Zhang Yi shook his head. "No, but I believe that the Zombie King must exist." Zhang Yi showed a meaningful smile at the corner of his mouth. He stared at Bian Junwoo and said slowly, "Zombies will choose their targets. Someone is deliberately targeting our 5 forces." Bian Junwoo looked at Zhang Yi and then smiled. "You are really smart." Zhang Yi shook his head. "It's not great wisdom, but just a little cleverness, which can barely save lives in this doomsday." Bian Junwoo already had some opinions in his mind. Although Zhang Yi's method cannot fundamentally solve the problem, it can also maintain the stability of some areas. It's just that it needs to be used with restraint. Otherwise, if all the zombies are forced out, the situation in Tianhai City will completely explode. Without sufficient preparation, it will be too much to cope with. And they still need to collect more intelligence. Only by understanding what the so-called Corpse King is and where it hides can we carry out the decapitation operation. You have great potential. I guess you may be a Delta-level alien. Do you want to consider leaving this small place and going to the Jiangnan region to try your luck? Bian Junwoo threw an olive branch to Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi was very interested in the concept of ability level proposed by Bian Junwoo. "Wait a minute, what do you mean by Delta?" Bian Junwoo realized that Zhang Yi did not know these professional knowledge about mutants. He laughed dumbly. "This is not a secret. I can tell you about it." He asked Zhang Yi, "When do you think mutants began to appear?" Zhang Yi answered almost without hesitation. "After the gamma rays passed over the blue planet and the Ice Age came." "Wrong!" Bian Junwoo directly rejected Zhang Yi's words. He said, "Human mutation has existed since ancient times." From the perspective of evolution, all organisms have been mutating all the time. This is inevitable. Just talking about ourselves, today's humans are almost 2 species from our ancestors millions of years ago. In this process, there will always be a part of the hundreds of millions of human beings with special abilities. Generals and heroes with infinite strength, talented people who can swallow clouds and spit out mist, and deformed monsters with 3 heads and 6 arms. They are all considered mutants. Bian Junwoo took a sip of hot water and said to Zhang Yi with a serious expression, "Mutants have existed since ancient times. It's just that there has never been such a large-scale mutation as today. Affected by external factors, the gene sequence of the entire group has been changed, and thus countless mutants have been born. But countries around the world have been conducting research on human mutations since a long time ago. Therefore, the levels and classifications of inhumans have long existed." Zhang Yi crossed his arms. "I do know about the 6 categories of inhumans, but how are the levels of inhumans divided?" Bian Junwoo explained, "Currently there is a unified classification standard for inhumans around the world. Initially, it was the alpha level, also called LV1. The mutation ability of inhumans at this level is not strong, and there is no growth potential. They can only show a part of extraordinary power. This kind of inhuman is just stronger than ordinary people. Ta, beta level, LV2. It is more powerful than the alpha level, and has the strength of the most elite warriors of mankind, but still does not have much room for growth. Next is the Gamma LV3. At this level, the mutants already have relatively powerful, extraordinary powers. Or it is a super powerful ability that can withstand hundreds of people, or some extremely powerful auxiliary ability." When he said this, Zhang Yi thought of the people around him. Uncle Yu and Fatty Shu are probably Gamma-level mutants. Because of their abilities, one person can be equivalent to hundreds of warriors. "What else?" Zhang Yi asked curiously. Bian Junwoo continued, "Then, it's the real extraordinary. Delta level LV4. The most obvious sign of this level is that it can absorb the energy of other mutants to evolve itself." Zhang Yi was shocked. A question that had puzzled him for a long time was finally explained. No wonder he, Flower, and Liang Yue could absorb other people's superpowers. But Uncle Yu and Fatty Shu couldn't. Bian Junwu said, "A Delta-level mutant may not be able to show power stronger than the previous levels, but he can continue to evolve and stop when he reaches a certain peak. Therefore, it can be understood that he has extremely high potential. At present, according to preliminary judgment, you and the leaders of various forces are at this level.